We're taking it back. 30 days into the zombie invasion, in fact. Down and down. We're in Atlanta, GA. And the Nature Boys getting firebombed. Yes, guys. Here we are, Walking Dead. Episode 5 of Season 2, Chupacabra. We kick off with a flashback.
Flashback City, damn it. I like flashbacks when they're done right. I don't like flashbacks when they're just purposely put in there as like filler or like a cool action scene. There needs to be a purpose. There needs to be a point to the flashbacks. And what did this flashback show
Exactly.
us? Ed's a cunt
And Shane and Laurie watch Atlanta get firebombed, and they kind of think, well, that's why Rick's dead.
I get this flashback, but with this flashback though, it made more sense maybe for the start of episode 4, season 1, rather than episode fucking 5.
Yeah, like, what purpose did this serve for the episode? If anything, a Merle flashback would have made a bit more sense.
To be fair though, I mean, it did show them looking at the city and like Shane holding Laurie, and maybe that was a suggestion that they were getting close. Hence, she just found out in the last episode she was pregnant. So I think it might have been that.
And maybe it was like closure for her to accept Rick's dead.
Aye, so I mean, yeah, I think if that's the reason, then I mean it has to be.
Still liked it, but Carol says to Laurie, right, I'm going to get Carl some...
Hold on, we kind of botched there. We kind of said we like flashbacks when they've got like a purpose.
Oh, you said that, mate.
Alright, and then you said there is no purpose to this one. And then I've discovered that there kind of wasn't for purpose, so...
I know, but it's the way you portray it.
I will.
Perceive it. I don't want to
Well,
call
I
it,
think if you perceive it the way I'm suggesting...
like the way I suggest it.
No, the way I suggest it, mate.
Nonetheless, right?
Let's move
Carol
on,
says to Laurie, right, we're going to get Carl some sweeties or whatever. Proceeds to go down and get them. Ed says...
No, she wasn't getting them sweeties. She ended up giving them sweeties because Ed said no to the survival pack.
Food, gear, whatever you want to call it, right?
She's going to get him a meal. Ed slams the door and says, "What the hell are you doing, woman? We gotta... survival of the fittest, everyone. We start giving out these to all these people and we'll have none left. Just stupid bitch."
You know what? Ed's right here, right? But two things. Number one,
it's
right?
probably the only time Ed's ever been writing the show.
I know, but number one, right? Why would she say that knowing who her husband is? Like, the guy, like, I know you could say, oh, he might not find out, blah, blah.
He's probably got them all counted, like...
The other guy's definitely sort of guy who have them all counted, right?
And even if he was okay with it, he'd probably fucking bring it up later on that night or something. You give Carl one of those packs, you know what I mean? So
a punch for each fucking nibble he took. But, and number two, right? This scene also showed to me how much older Carol looks than Ed.
Yeah, no, see, looking at this, I mean, Ed could be our son.
I think Ed could literally pass for like late 20s, early 30s. And she looks about 50.
Yeah,
And I think people can look 50 but not like still look young at the same time.
Yeah, she has got a bit of that to her, like, I mean, she looks 50 but kind of got like maybe
What I'm going for here is, right,
expressions.
what I'm going for here is she's got a fucking skinhead, she's an ugly bastard, and she could do 100 times better.
Wait, she could or Ed could?
Ed could.
Could she not in the
And the non-beating your wife sense to a
yeah,
lot better.
like,
She definitely could, like,
but
but
you're saying in the physical appearance part, Ed could do better.
yeah.
Alright, well, I'll
Yeah,
give
like,
you that
like
one.
why is he like clinging on to this Carol?
But then again, is that not Ed controlling her? Is that not the reason why she dresses like she's 50 and has the fucking short hair? Because like Ed's controlling her.
You could argue that, but short hair, long hair, clothes, no clothes, she looks like pish, right? Let's just move on to the start of this fucking episode. Ooh, we have Shane. Right, we have the group, right? We're going out looking for Sophia again for what, the fucking 20th day in a row.
Well, see, we're gonna correction. Everyone,
people.
pretty much apart from Carol and Laurie, are gonna. So
Yeah, Laurie sleeps in. Carol says to her, "We should make dinner tonight. You had a long lie-in."
I would like to cook in their big kitchen. It'd be nice to cook again. Wouldn't it be nice to find your daughter? Like, I mean, just out of curiosity, wouldn't that?
Yeah.
What would you prefer? Cooking in a big kitchen? You think about it, right? Like, oh, I want to cook in a big kitchen, cooking properly. So she probably means like creating a meal, like prepping, and actually, you know what I mean? This is not like a quick, oh, let's throw some chips in the oven. This is, let's cook a proper meal. She would rather waste like 3-4 hours actually making a meal than fucking spending 3-4 hours looking for a daughter. To me, that's mad.
I know.
That's fucking... It's almost like Carol is like giving up at this stage. She's forgot who Sophia is.
Yeah, like, if she has given
Like, we're
up,
saying that flashback was to show Laurie, like, accepting Rick was dead. Maybe that flashback was fucking Carol accepting that Sophia's
gone.
dead and she can
Didn't he
keep all the
acknowledge
rations
her?
for
Didn't he
herself.
acknowledge her in the flashback? But yeah, the groups are split up here, right? We've got perimeters, blah blah blah, haha. Rick and Shane head off. Shane and Rick.
Shane's huffing with Rick.
Yeah, and then he
Well, actually, before we get to that, they're setting them. Jimmy comes in. I think this is the first time we get introduced to Jimmy. We may have seen him standing when they were doing Otis's death funeral thingy.
yeah, but introduction.
But I think this is the first time we've actually seen the guy speak. He comes over, says that he wants to help Luke. Herschel knows. He wants a gun. He's like, "You're not getting a gun." He says, "I want a gun if I'm going out there." Shane says to him, "If you're serious, I'm a trainer. I'm an instructor. Tomorrow, me and you, big man." Shane says he'll train him to shoot. And
what is this whole gimmick of they need trained, right? I get it to a degree, but at the same time, how fucking shit must you be to end up shooting each other? Like, I know, maybe it's, because Otis shot Carl, but that was
different.
That was an accident.
And let's be real, Otis is probably fucking pretty good.
Why are they near greeting up at this now?
Oh, wait, pretty good. Otis was a good. Otis looked like a good shot when we seen him with Shane. He looked good.
Like, see when we saw them in Atlanta and like Glenn and T-Dog were shooting, I doubt they were fucking. Well, maybe T-Dog, like, but I mean, I doubt Glenn was fucking.
You see the way T-Dog was shooting with the fucking side.
Aye.
The side motion, the gangster shooting. Andrea says he can come with us. Shane says you're babysitting him then. So that, to me, that kind of suggested that Andrea and Shane were going to looking for in a team, but turns out it's Shane and Rick. Shane appears to have taken the huff with Rick. Shane's not speaking to Rick, giving Rick the silent treatment. So then Rick says like the only way you can get him to talk is to talk about their high school adventures and talk about how many women that Shane banged in high school. And I thought the dialogue here was pretty funny. I mean, Shane's got this big massive list, and then Rick's not even got anything wrote in his list.
Yeah, it's just a blank sheet of paper.
I mean,
our Walking Dead list.
Yeah, no, I thought this was. I enjoyed the dialogue here. It was pretty. It was funny. I mean, maybe not funny, like, but it was like
entertaining.
It was like a relief from the whole seriousness, depression. Let's see if we can find Sophia. It was nice to see the characters, having a wee joke with each other and interacting. So,
but this is exactly my point, though. But I've mentioned this loads of times. Seeing you have two people who are over, they can talk like this, and the scene works.
Yeah.
Like, there's two.
Walking Dead. You've got Carol and Laurie discussing the dinner and who's going to ask Herschel for permission, and it was shit.
Yeah, it was dog meat. But the conversation quickly turns back to we should just give up on Sophia. And see Shane, he brings up every valid point here. Rick doesn't have an argument apart from I lost her. I looked at her eye. She trusts me.
Shane says, missing kid after you're looking for a missing kid, but after 72 hours you're looking for a missing body. And that was before. So Shane's saying that is before, in a world that, didn't have fucking zombies running about, in a world that, didn't have, let's say, criminals running about, and, like, no law enforcement, no law, no civilization, stuff like that. So, I mean, this world is a lot more dangerous than the previous world, and if a child didn't have a good chance after 72 hours in the last world, realistically, what chance did they have in this world? Shane says, we should be putting we should be putting the group's safety first, but you're like risking everything to save a cat in a tree.
You saying Sophia's a cat in a tree? That's exactly what I'm fucking saying. No,
don't put those words in my mouth. So yeah, Shane and Rick disagree.
See if Shane turned around and said to her, "Look, they're the facts, Rick. Our own mother isn't even fucking arsed with her." Can Rick honestly turn around and say we have a valid argument and be like, "You're wrong"?
Yeah. So, to be honest, I think deep down Rick knows Shane's right. I just think Rick feels guilty because his plan was fucking terrible, and I think he feels bad.
He does feel bad,
even when it happened in episode 1, and he said, "I told her, you keep the sun in your head," and Shane says, "How much she was terrified. How much do you think of that she really took in?"
Exactly.
Even Shane was like, "Yo, your plan was shit," and this was 4 episodes ago.
I know I'm going back to it, right? But if this 17-year-old Jimmy guy's willing to go out, why can't Carol go out when they gun training?
Exactly.
Why doesn't Shane go up to Carol and go, right, I'm training people, so if you want to come out and help for your fucking daughter, get trained up, let's go.
Yeah, man.
Like, if her own mother can't be arsed to go out and search, why should the rest of the group go out and risk it?
And I don't even. Why does she need to be trained in a gun? Why can't she just go with someone who's got a gun?
I know, but you get what I mean. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know what you mean. I totally get what you mean. Fuck Carol. Fuck Laurie. Fuck them all. What happens next?
That's a good question. Daryl is out in the forest, out in the woods. He spots like a banking. He sees Sophia's doll. It's like in this like river, this creek.
How the fuck you'd spot that from up there? Like, it's a good spot for you.
It's a good spot. So he goes and he picks it up. But there's a rattlesnake first, and the rattlesnake freaks out the horse. The horse is called Nervous Nelly. I mean, that's what
Kelly.
That's what Herschel named it. It throws Daryl off. He falls down the embankment. He falls down the slope. This is about 50, 60 foot fall.
Concussion.
Ends up getting impaled with the arrows. It goes unconscious. Wakes up. He sees Merle, but it's actually not Merle.
Hey, baby brother. Hallucinations.
Hallucinations. Actually, no, that's not. We're getting mixed up here. First of all, he picks up the doll and then he goes in the water searching for his crossbow. Now, see, you think about it, it's pretty dangerous going in the water because you can't see underneath the water, especially when it's that dirty. There could be a walker that's underneath the water and it just bites you and that's you fucked.
I know. That would have been game over.
Anyway, he gets out. He tries to climb up the thing. He falls. He's at the bottom. He hits his head. He's kind of sleeping. Merle appears like, "Get up, baby brother," and he's like, he calls him like a pansy. You're
a bitch.
Yeah, those people look at you like you're redneck trash. You're out here. He's like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "Out here looking for a girl. The little girl went missing."
You like little girls?
Merle's like, "So you like little girls now?" He's like, "Shut up. I don't see you out looking for Merle." I mean,
fucking valid points.
You gave up first chance you had. No, man, we came back for you. I mean, Merle is kind of right. Like, I mean, like, see once they got back to camp, I know you could argue, oh, shit went down, like, but how come Daryl wasn't like, nah, I'm going back to Atlanta to look for Merle.
I know, like, Daryl did. I mean, maybe give up's the wrong word, but he just...
Or do you think he maybe accepted that Merle just moved on, he was still alive? Like, maybe he wasn't accepting he was dead, maybe he's just thinking...
I mean, they are at this sort of age, like, I mean, I don't think there was a question to leave them behind, but I think Merle's just trying to survive. Fuck's sake, he cut his arm off.
Yeah, so, yeah, I mean, but yeah, I mean, it's kind of weird, you know, I mean...
No, it's definitely weird, but...
They didn't fucking hesitate to leave Merle. They didn't set up camps and set up routes and maps to find Merle, did they?
Did they? Fuck.
No, they didn't. Anyway.
Shane and Rick returned to the group.
Well, first of all, the walker, Merle, you see Merle fidgeting with Daryl's shoe, and it turns out it's a walker trying to bite through his boot. Daryl kicks it off, gets in a scuffle with it, throws it a boot, starts bashing it with a stick. And then the other walker comes and manages to retrieve his crossbar. Arrow into the crossbar. Walker's
into the crossbar? What the fuck are you
crossbow, mate?
Crossbar? What I didn't like about this, the CGI was awful. You could clearly tell when the walker hit the deck. It was like the arrow was just not through its head.
I never picked up on it.
I picked up on it when I watched this the first time, which was 11 years ago.
Alright, okay.
So I picked up on it 11 years later.
Right.
Rick and Shane return to the group. Rick has to bring his queries to Laurie. Am I doing the right thing here?
Shane thinks I'm wrong.
But what if it was Carl? Well, I'll tell you what, see if it was Carol, Laurie would still be doing fuck all. She'd still be doing dishes and all that stuff.
I highly doubt Carl would be looking for Carl.
Laurie?
I know.
None of them, they're both fucking pish.
Yep.
The only thing they're looking for here is the fairy up liquid and the wash the dishes, man. That's it. Fairy liquid. Good night, Irene. What happens next? A very uneventful fucking episode. Dale and Glenn in the RV.
Glenn returns a book to Dale. It's like, oh, sorry I kept so long. Dale's like, no problem. If I knew we were going to be in an apocalypse, I would have brought better books. Glenn then goes on to say, why are women acting weird? He heard that women can, when the one's acting weird and they're around each other, they all act weird. Herschel says, don't let them hear you saying that. Oh, I mean, Dale. Sorry.
No, see Dale's humour, like his deliveries are fucking
Dale's
brilliant.
great, like, it should have kept, I mean, it was his choice to leave, like, fucking bummer. Dale was good. You know, I wouldn't have been surprised if Herschel was supposed to die, and they just jobbed out Herschel for Dale.
Yeah.
But no, I think it's mad, right? That the Walking Dead fan base preferred Herschel over Dale.
No, Dale was funny as fuck.
And I just don't see it. Herschel is a depression bastard, man. So yes, anyway.
We haven't even got to any Herschel stuff.
Glenn says, you know, he thought Maggie wanted to have sex with him, and Dale's like, whoa, hey, how do you know that? And then Glenn kind of gives him the wee wink, and he's like, oh no, son, you didn't. And she's like,
He
she's
says
22.
Like he plotted 9/11 or something.
She's like, Glenn's like, she's 22, and he's like, our father's our host. I mean, didn't you have any idea what he'd think about it? Weren't you thinking? What were you thinking? And Glenn goes, I was thinking it might be my last day alive. So Glenn walks out.
Day on Earth.
Herschel kind of feels sorry for him. We then have Herschel approach Rick, or Rick approach. Beth comes out and says, "Oh, Mr. Grimes, my father's looking for you."
The fuck are we living in the 1800s?
Rick goes to find Herschel, and Herschel basically says, "You stole my horse without my permission, and you took Jimmy out. No, he's not my kin, but he's only 17, and I'm responsible for him." I mean, 17, like... I think at 17 you're old enough to make your own idea.
Especially in this world, for fuck's sake.
I mean, could you not argue that Herschel should be, like, proud of him? For, like, stepping up and trying to find this wee girl?
That's the man Biff's gonna
You're
marry.
becoming... Yeah, I mean, or would he rather Jimmy stay behind and help fucking Carol and Laurie prep the fucking dinner?
Exactly.
Hey, do you want me to cut those carrots for you? I mean, like, come on.
Why is this guy doing more for the fucking missing kid than Carol? Like, honestly.
Didn't even know his name till this fucking episode and he's out searching for her. So, yeah, absolute madness. So, then Herschel goes... So yeah, you're not being straight with me, Rick. And Rick goes, I think we need to work on our communication. Any ideas? And Herschel just bluntly says, I keep my people in line, you keep your people in line.
He then returns to the house, spots that Carol and Laurie are making dinner. He's like, what's going on here?
Maggie's like, oh, they wanted to make dinner for us to say thanks. Like, you shouldn't be getting, you know, used to these people being around. They're not going to be here forever. And he says, what about that Asian kid? And he basically tells Maggie not to have any feelings for Glenn. You know how I feel about this? And she goes, I'm not 16. He goes, I know.
I wish you were, but you're not.
I expect more from you. And she's like, Dad, I'm a little old for this talk. And I mean, it's so fucking wet. I mean, God forbid that Maggie likes Glenn. Why is this Herschel guy a miserable bastard, seriously?
Yeah, it's like he's living on the line of, I don't want these people here, but I'm tolerating it. Just fucking kick them out. If you're getting that fucking bored and depressed of it, why doesn't he kick him out?
And at that stage, they could just take over and be like, no, Herschel, you have to go. Get off the land.
Fucking kill switch on Herschel.
We then get Daryl. He's trying to climb back up the mountain, the slope, the embankment.
The ravine.
The ravine. And we get another hallucination, and he sees Merle.
Come on, baby brother.
Come on, Daryl, you know, flip off those high heels and get up here. And Daryl's telling him, shut up. And he's like, why don't you get up here and make me shut up then? And says, is this the kind of man I trained you to be? And he wants him to go and shoot Rick in the face.
Same cop that handcuffed me to the scorching roof.
You, all those, what do they say? All those pansies, niggers, and liberals. I mean,
Democrats, actually.
Democrats. So there you go.
Racism.
That's what Merle thinks of the group. Fucking tell you what, he's not wrong.
He's right on the money, like.
Yeah. I don't know if Shane's a liberal, like, I mean, probably libertarian.
Tweener.
Right.
I say Dale is, but Dale would be a good liberal.
I don't know, Dale's got a bit of Mick Foley to me, I think, of it.
Nah, he does, like, he has something about
him. Yeah, so Daryl gets back. Andrea's on top of the RV. Walker! She's going to snipe it. Dale's like, no, Andrea, no. And Rick's like, no, Herschel wants to deal with this. Then Shane's like, why? We got it covered. And then Shane starts limping off towards the fucking walker.
Fully on fucking running by one.
And then you got T-Dog running with him and fucking somebody else.
Glenn.
And
Dale and Andrea start
running. Then you got
running.
Rick, he goes and grabs a gun and he starts giving chase.
What the fuck?
And then, so they approach him. You've still got Dale and Andrea on top of the RV. They see it's Daryl. Rick points the gun at him. And Daryl's like, that's the third time you pointed that gun at my face. You better get that gun out. Next minute, poof, bullet hits the side of Daryl's temple, skins him, grazes him, and he goes down. And the next minute you just hear Andrea's all proud of herself, and the next minute you hear no. Rick's obviously not happy. That
Why all this for one? Like, it wasn't even a walker. It was so overdone.
Daryl's been shot. And then, and then out of nowhere we see Andrea and Dale like run at full speed, like Usain Bolt speed, down to see what happened. And
So
Andrea,
Dale found out the fucking Trump's won the election. He's like, damn it, Biden, where are you? Sleepy Joe, wake up.
they run down and they see Daryl's been shot. And he's getting dragged back to the fucking farm, and Rick snatches the fucking Daryl made like a necklace made of like zombie ears, and he snatches it after. Don't let Herschel see this. I mean, I think that's the last of fucking hell.
This was overdone, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it was good. I mean, it was alright.
It was alright, but it was almost fucking cringy what happened here.
That's why he need. And fucking Daryl's got like the walker ears in his mouth at this stage, and it's like, see if this whole blood turns. Daryl's fucked at this stage. Like,
no, I don't even give a fuck about that. I think it's the whole group running it because they think they see a walker, and then like it just was not fucking needed. Like,
yeah, wasn't it needed? Ooh,
100% owner.
Yeah. Then they get back to the farm. They kind of stitch Daryl up. Herschel asks if he knows about his horse. Whereas Daryl says if it's smart, I'll have left the country. Herschel says, well, you would have knew I was nervous if you came to ask me. And it's like, fucking hell, man. Really, Herschel? Fuck yourself. Daryl's found the doll.
Yeah, whoop-de-doo, he found the doll. Shade then brings up, we're risking men to find dolls. We almost died for a doll.
Yeah, Rick's like, this is the first piece of hard evidence we found. Do you want to give up now? And Shane's like, wait, I see it. Daryl almost killed himself for a doll.
But, right, he says hard evidence, right? You found a doll that links Sophia in the only area you were searching for her in.
Yeah, but
we don't know how long ago the doll's been there.
Yeah, it's not like the doll. See if the doll was.
And it could have washed downstream.
Yeah, see if you could read like, oh, the doll's just been there the last like day or something, or the last couple of hours, and maybe he'd have something. But I mean, the doll literally could have been there from half an hour after Rick left her on the highway. So, yeah.
Shane voices his opinion to Laurie. He says he'd do anything to keep her and Carl safe.
She says, even abandoning a little girl, and he's like, yeah. And then she's like shocked, can't believe how he could do this. But well, hold on, see when Carl was fucking dying.
Did more than you stupid bitch.
I believe Shane was the one that stepped up. We then have dinner. It's the atmosphere. There is no atmosphere. Like, I just don't get it. Why do this? Why not just have Herschel say, like, I don't want you here. I mean, the atmosphere here is so fucking bad. It's horrendous.
There's no reason to be.
I mean, it's
well, there is a reason, but like, if there is a reason, but why don't you do something about that reason? Get them out.
Yeah, they're literally sitting at the tables as if everybody hates each other. There's like no communication. All you hear is like the forks and the knives cutting through the dinner and chewing, and it's like, I mean, see if I
this could be better off if Herschel was dead.
See if I was sitting here. And I'd be like, fuck, I'm taking my dinner out to the barn. Which might not be a good idea, but that's what I would have went to fucking eat my dinner. We have Glenn tries to like lighten the mood. Hey, Dale found a cool guitar. Can anyone play guitar? And Patricia's like, always could play guitar.
3-second pause. Herschel doubles. Yeah, he was a fucking good player.
Yeah, he was good at it. But let's go back to being boring bastards here. And then Glenn and Maggie start passing notes together about where they're going to meet tonight, and both Herschel and Dale at the same time. Each just spin round and catch on at the note passing. It was like, oh god. We then see Carol goes in to check on Daryl. She brings him some food. Daryl covers up as if he's scared of like 10% of his skin being shown here.
I know, what's he wearing a fucking hijab?
She says, today you done more in one day than her father done his whole life. And then Daryl says, I didn't do anything Rick or Shane wouldn't have. And she's going, I know, you're every bit as good as him. And then she kisses him and he's like, hey, watch my stitches. So, I mean, yeah. I mean, Daryl,
he's did more than you would do as well, so let's not bury Ed here.
Yeah, let's not bury. You're both fucking shit parents. I mean, like, even the fact that they allude to that Ed may have been like sexually abusing. I mean, the fact that she stayed with him, like, is I mean, it's maybe one thing in the house, and she maybe needs Ed to depend on them. But see, as soon as they got to that camp, and there was like fucking men like Shane, why didn't she just say, "Look, he's been doing this. Keep him away from me."
Or kill him?
Oh, I don't. I mean, I don't. Oh, hold on. You're expecting some woman that's never stepped out the kitchen just to be able to kill somebody?
No, I don't.
See,
no.
you're unrealistic here.
No, I don't.
I think me saying that she could have at least said to Shane, "Look, he's been beating me and touching my daughter. Can you keep him?" I mean, I think
I'd say he should at least be kicked out the group, or I'm not saying she kills him, but fucking be like, well, he needs to go here. No, I do get your point, like, but point is, she enabled it. Fuck her. She's shite.
Well, I mean, Shane almost killed him for like slapping her. Could you imagine if she says, "Look, he touches his daughter"?
You can play the victim as much as you want, right? But see when that old person is also affecting someone else, and that someone else is your fucking daughter. You're not a victim.
Like, we're not saying that
Anymore.
we're not saying he 100% was doing that, but I think they alluded to that, and I'm pretty sure if you check articles and like websites, Walking Dead fan fiction stuff, well, not fan fiction, but like fan sites, I'm pretty sure they also alluded to that as well.
Even if he
Even
didn't,
on Wikipedia.
but even if he didn't, he still gave Sophia a shit life and did fuck all for her.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that warranted his fucking death, but it's like she enabled that. She could have got remarried to someone who'd have looked after her.
Yeah.
Hopefully not Rick, like, because he'd have just
Someone
told her
that
to
looks
fuck it up.
fucking 20 years older than Ed, look more like her. Anyway, she leaves. Then we see Glenn heading it to the barn. Maggie's chasing, but Glenn gets to the barn before Maggie can. He sees all the walkers. He's like, "What the fuck?" He had his wee pillow and his wee blanket. He walks back out and he bumps into Maggie. And Maggie's like, "You weren't supposed to see this." And that's where the episode ends. So yeah, Glenn wasn't supposed to see the barn. Barn's full of walkers.
It would have been intriguing, like, if Glenn's seen Sophia.
Yeah, but he didn't. He didn't see shit.
Nope, he's flashed his wee light and seen hee-haw. But that's where the episode ended. A lot of flaws, a lot of fucking depressing ass bastards. I don't know what
When
to
you
rate
say
it.
that, but I thought it was a lot better than the last episode. Like,
I thought it was, but there's also a lot of.
hold on, I like the I like the scenes with Rick and Shane. I mean, you factor in Merle as well. It was great to see Merle back, even though it was only for like a couple of hallucinations. No, I mean, a nice wee flashback at the start of the episode as well. Yeah, no, overall, I thought it was a much better episode than the last episode.
I'll give it.
I'm gonna get a 7.
I'll give it a 6. I think it's actually amazing how much like Laurie takes off an episode alone.
Yeah, not much for T-Dog in this episode. They literally just hold up the doll and says, "Isn't this Sophia's?" I mean, T-Dog.
No, it's fucking Rick's. Of course it's Sophia's, you dumb bastard.
It's Doralina's. Yeah, anyway, so 6.5 out of 10. Better episode than the last one, but yeah, the last one was pretty much filler, wasn't it? Yeah, so
It really was.
we'll see what happens next time.
We're almost at the mid-season finale.
Walker's in the barn. Who's going to find out? Who's going to get told?
Why is he still coming?
Yeah. Till then.
Peace.